Good morning, students. Here we are to discuss about metacognition and neurocognition in listening. Before going to metacognition and neurocognition, let me talk about listening. Listening in classroom has been given the most negligence in today's scenario. So what we find is listening is not given that much importance. The more importance is given on writing and all. So listening is a requirement skill in the language. We know there are 4 skills in language: listening, speaking, reading, writing. But listening has been given the most least importance. It has been found in many researches. So what we have to do is we have to give focus on listening. Why? Do you know why? Yeah, there is a very big thing like why. Yes, to communicate with the world, to communicate in the society, to encode and decode in a proper manner with the public, with the people, we need proper listening. So, to communicate, we need listening. That is one thing. To listen, why we need metacognition and neurocognition? Any idea? Yes, we need metacognition and neurocognition in listening. Why? What is metacognition? It is a very buzzword in the educational psychology nowadays. Metacognition is a higher order thinking skills which help to process our cognition. Okay? So, what are the steps in metacognition? First is planning. To do a specific task, we need to plan in the before. Second is monitoring. The ongoing task is going in a right manner, wrong manner. That we have to monitor. We have to regulate one's thinking in metacognition. Lastly, after finishing the task, we have to evaluate that task. That is metacognition. And what is neurocognition? Just to be telling in short, it is the working of the neurons in the brain. We have many neurons in our brain. So how these are working? Do you think the one neuron is working? No, it is all the neurons which are working in the brain. Yes. When we listen to something, it is all the neurons. How it works. So, coming to the neurocognition in listening, we can say when we are taking a specific information from the outer ear to the inner ear, we need to have focus and attention, selective attention. So all this attention will help you to build your listening, develop your listening. How? This taking of the information into the brain will activate the neurons in the brain. When one neurons get activated, the other neurons also get activated because the one neuron sends signals to the other neurons and the other neurons send signals to the more other neurons. So a wave-like mapping is formed in the brain. How? When the neurons send the signals, the transmitters, they activate the neurons and the wiring and firing takes place in the brain. So, listening gets registered in our memory. That is in the hippocampus of our brain. Listening gets registered. So, whatever we listen, we are able to reciprocate at the end or later. We can remember that thing, right? For that, why we need metacognition? We need neurocognition, of course. To listen, why we need metacognition? There are 3 steps which I told you. Planning, monitoring and evaluation. We want to listen something. So we are planning. So this I will plan. So I have to listen only to the keywords of the thing. I want to listen only the keywords. I want to listen only to the summary, and some people they want to listen fully. So advanced organizers works there. Selective attention works there. Right? These things works there. Then coming to the monitoring, we are listening and monitoring. Am I thinking it correctly? Am I thinking it right? Whether it will be this meaning, whether this will be comprehended in this way. So the monitoring is also happening in that way. Next, coming to the evaluation part. After finishing listening, we evaluate in some other way whether we have imbibed the matter or not. So all the 3 things are done, all the 3 steps are taken or given much importance during listening. Metacognition in listening, neurocognition in listening. We need both the variables to develop our listening skills. There are many elements in neurocognition. Taking to one element, I'll just synergize with metacognition, just taking on one element in this class. Let's take attention. Attention is one of the very big thing, one of the very focused thing in neurocognition. So how, when we attain something, when we focus on something, when we concentrate on something, what happens? We take the information more attentively because we are active learners that time. So the listening also takes place very effectively. That is how listening takes place. Listening and hearing, there are a difference. So what is the difference? I should have told you in the very beginning, but that will be your assignment. You have to come with that. Okay.